Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the CCS Season 5 Championships. The round of 64 continues on as number 6 from the South region in the Big Sky, Northern Arizona, takes on number 11 from the Sunbelt, Old Dominion. The Sunbelt's got two teams already through the round of 32. The Old Dominion trying to make it a 3-for-3 sweep for the three Sunbelt teams in the tournament. The Big Sky, though, trying to find its first way in to the round of 32. Jonas, how's it going? Got a big time in an upset watch here for ODU.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a great stream so far. Obviously, we've got back-to-back 6-hour slates last night and tonight. This one's been moving obviously a little bit quicker. We have yet to see a game 7. This one is definitely one that could go that distance. I mean, Old Dominion, they didn't have the best results as this season. Obviously, playing in the Sun Belt, they have to go against teams like Louisiana, against teams like James Madison. That's not easy. They dropped to both those teams. They got close with Louisiana. The regular season was a game 5, but they still lost. Rematched them in the conference tournament, got beat 4-1. And in non-conference play, they had a tough time too. I believe their only win there was versus Louisiana Tech. They lost to Pitt.
Houston?
They lost to Mizzou.
And they lost to Houston.
Was that? And they lost to Houston, yeah. So they had a bit of a tougher season, but Old Dominion, they were a part of kind of an unspoken about upset. Looking back on it last season, they took out the 2 seed of Charlotte in round 2.
That was a big upset as a 7 seed or a 10 seed, I think, in the first round.
Yeah,
they upset a 7 seed, then upset the 2 seed, and went on to the Elite 8 or Sweet 16. I think they lost Wichita State in the Elite 8.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they now a chance to continue that run here in Season 5. We'll see how far the Monarchs can go in their second run of the tournament.
Yeah, both these two teams are actually in the same part of the bracket. They were both in the South region last season, and Northern Arizona, they got eliminated in round 2. They were a 9 seed. They swept Alabama. That was a big win in the first round as a 9 seed, and then they went up against Indiana in round 2 and got eliminated there by the Hoosiers. And they're looking to have themselves a bit of a better run here. I mean, they got a little bit of a more favorable part of the bracket as of right now. They take down Old Dominion. They'll most likely go on to play the 3 seed of Purdue. That's not going to be an easy one. If they get through that, they're most likely going to play the 2 seed of James Madison. So it's going to be closer. It's going to be closer, and this could be a really fun one. I mean, Northern Arizona, they were undefeated all the way until the Big Sky Conference Tournament Championship, where they did get beat by Idaho State, but up until then, they were perfect.
That they were, and we're just waiting on a technical difficulty to get fixed here. These players got the wrong name, so we're waiting on that to get fixed.
Yeah, always tends to happen a little bit. But yeah, I mean, this is, one of those, another matches where it's that upset watch. A sleeper reported only 4 brackets had Old Dominion winning over Northern Arizona, and there's only one perfect bracket remaining, I'm assuming, based on the context, that has, if Old Dominion wins, there'll be only one perfect bracket remaining, and that's a feisty Taquito.
We'll have to wait and see if that happens, but this is going to be fun. And Old Dominion, it's going to be a great game. I'm excited. Players already joining it for me and telling them they're ready to go. So let's hop down to the field for game 1.
Yeah, they're rearing and ready, and why stop them at this point? Game number 1, Northern Arizona, Old Dominion. We are underway again. This should be a very close matchup. I would expect Northern Arizona, obviously, the favorites on paper, but Old Dominion, we've seen in history that they can compete with some of the best, so we'll be looking to see what they can bring here tonight.
Me as well, and into this game, Old Dominion underdogs, but they were underdogs last season in the tournament as well. They overcame a 7th seed in the first round, and then overcame Charlotte in the second round, and played Wichita State to game 7 in the regional semifinals. So anything can happen in the tournament, as we've seen.
Yeah, I mean, this is obviously Old Dominion. They're one of the leaders in that anything can happen. Again, looking back to last season, taking down Miami were the ACC tournament champions, and then taking down Charlotte, who are of course a beast over in the American, and Old Dominion were able to give them the works. And now we'll see if they can again find themselves another upset here tonight. But again, it's that single elimination tournament. You make one mistake and you're out.
That it is. Well, number 6 NAU going head-to-head with number 11, Old Dominion, and it's win or go home. Around a 64, $500 in the line for the national title.
Yeah, again, and the South region being statistically the hardest region, and both these teams on the very kind of bottom side of that bracket, looking to climb their way up, and it doesn't get easy. I mean, there's a lot of great teams out in the South. Obviously, Mizzou being that 1 seed, James Madison being the 2, having Purdue, awaiting, most likely will be awaiting the winner of this matchup as the 3 seed, barring a big upset from the Ospreys of North Florida, which I believe, we only saw one person predict that upset, and that being Wavy.
Yeah, that was one of the ones we posted on Twitter, but Nats finds the Monarchs their first goal.
Yeah, it was a pretty quiet first 2 minutes, kind of just a nice back and forth, but it's Nass who finds the first one off the pass from Dan, 73 miles an hour top shelf, and no one able to keep that one out.
3:07 to go as NAU now trailing 1 here in the tournament. Again, it's just game 1, so don't want to panic at Carr, quickly able to tie things up.
Yeah, and that was just the good pressure from Chronicle. You can see he left the boost. He wanted Nass, and Nass had to delay so long off the back wall going for that ball because he had to evade that demo, and Carr obviously just able to tap it in nice and easy. 1-1.
3 minutes to go here in game 1. Both teams on the board now for the first time in the tournament, as Northern Arizona, people have picked them to go as far as the regional semifinal. Drone is out beating Purdue, getting beyond the second round, and then they have them falling short in the following round of 2 seed James Madison.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of faith in this team, and rightfully so. Obviously, Northern Arizona are a very strong competitor. They always have been, and they've obviously in the Big Sky been going toe-to-toe with Idaho State for what feels like forever. And now Beast is going to have the go-ahead goal for NAU here, just catching the third man in Dan off guard. Went for the mid-boost that wasn't there, and then couldn't get back.
Don't forget the Sacramento State battles either from last summer and the fall. I mean, again, they'll also, the Hornets will be back this summer in the Big Sky, so they'll be back to a potential 3-bid league in the Big Sky with Sac State, Idaho State, and NAU. But we'll have to wait and see how that shakes out, but a 2-1 lead currently in hand for the Lumberjacks.
And we'll see if they're going to be able to hang on to it, maybe extend. Got 2 back-to-back. There's always a chance for more. Goat God, good 50 here. Dan, snap, turn, Beast just got the outspeed. It's 2v1 for a moment, but NASA is able to boom it away. Chronicle, sidewall pinch, trying to put more pressure right back on the Monarchs. Dan booming clear upfield on target early, but Beast there. Nas powering his way through Chronicle to put a shot on, but it's again saved, and starting to see NAU getting pushed back, but then a ripped clear from Beast will relieve a lot of time and space.
1:30 to play in these last 90 seconds. Better be great for Old Dominion. Northern Arizona, again, they played the tournament back in season 3 on its inception on the bigger bracket, and Nebraska, the storied franchise of CCS, defeated them in the first round. And then last season, again, ODU went pretty far. NAU, I don't remember how far they went though.
Last season?
Yeah.
And NAU, they got eliminated in round 2 by the 1 seed of Indiana. They made it through Alabama in a sweep, and then going against Indiana, they dropped in 5.
Alabama a belt. I remember that now. That was not close.
Yeah, no, that was one of the more dominating 8-9 matches we've ever seen, as Carr threads the needle perfectly top left to extend the lead for the Lumberjacks.
NAU, a 3-1 lead with 52 to play.
Dan says he is DCing, so I'm most likely going to get a server reset after this one. But yeah, I am spotting his ping going into the orange, so we will get a quick reset after this one. But regardless, we'll see if Old Dominion can pull something together late in the final 40 seconds, or if NAU can just hold on for the rest of time here and just get this game 1 victory.
30 seconds to go, and demos galore for Beast. He's got 3, and that's a big miss in front. Goat God will turn it in. 25 seconds, the Monarchs within 1.
And Chronicle giving a chance here, just a complete misread off that corner bounce, and Goat more than happy just to quickly turn 90 degrees, put that one away. And after a double demo cleared up so much space, it looked like that might have just been the end of it, as the Lumberjacks are gonna have a lot of time now off the kickoff, and we're suddenly tied up.
And ultimate from 3-1 down to level at 3. The kickoff goes their way, and the lead gone just like that with 23 to play.
Wow, that is incredible. It shows how quickly things can change in these matches now. Old Dominion have a lot of life at the kickoff. Lost intentionally from NAU, back into the corner for Carr. 15 Goat here. Chronicle trying to force his way through, but Goat just breaking through. Both Lumberjacks there now. Beast might have a look, fires it across. No one there. Nas will take his time, gets it past Chronicle. OT on the horizon here. Carr 50s his way through the corner, stays alive. Maybe one last look. It's a pass middle for Beast, but it's saved on the goal line. It drops.
And Northern Arizona almost had a great look on 0 seconds to close this game down, Jonas, but play continues in overtime.
Immediate shot from Carr. Nas, good control, flicks it around. Beast pops it over Chronicle. This is a good chance here. Carr doesn't have a ton of boost to work with in the corner. Goat will steal that corner away as well, immediately going up to challenge Chronicle. Dan bumped out. That's good awareness from Carr. A little bit of a team bump, a little bit awkward for Northern Arizona. Will regain and recover. Beast tosses out to Carr sidewall, dropping middle. Chronicle doesn't have a ton of boost, neither did Beast. He's just going to boom this back on the offensive side again, getting rid of some of that pressure.
40 seconds so far in overtime right now as Carr down to Beast on target, a little high. The double is no good. Little trickle wide to right as Chronicle will take it back across the upper corner, and Northern Arizona's first break in overtime is unsuccessful.
Yeah, Chronicle might have a look here. That's a big dunk. No one close at second. Beast is on the far side. That's a good pass middle to Carr, but he pushes it wide. NAU missing out on a ton of chances.
Dan, you gotta find one to go your way, and you gotta get an actual good shot off, and they just had 2 elite looks and couldn't do anything.
Oh no, and Dan is struggling in the corner, and that'll open it up. The ping spiked even higher going into that one, and that's just really unfortunate there for Dan and Old Dominion. Unfortunately, it will just still count as game 1 going the way of NAU, but that's a tough break.
Not much we can do about it this far into the game, but Northern Arizona going to lead 1-0.
Yeah, and again, it's the fact that it's in overtime. We talked about a little earlier on when we saw a disconnect. If it happens early enough when it's still 0-0, you're going to be able to, of course, just hold things there. You can do a quick reset since nothing really happened inside that early time. But that one obviously being later on in overtime, plenty of goals scored already. You just kind of have to play on. And it is unfortunate. You do hate to see it, especially after seeing Old Dominion get that late comeback there to take it to OT. But it's unfortunate, but sometimes that's just how it happens.
Indeed, it's how it happens, unfortunately. But we will have to wait and see how things shake out in game 2.
Yeah, there's still a lot that can happen here. Old Dominion most likely going to be hungry to get that game back, especially after they were able to get it back so close in the comeback and then just falling there. But now, moving on forward, we'll see what the Monarchs can do. NAU happy to take game 1, but they know they got to be a little bit more defensive as they almost sold that game away, Nation.
I think they did. I mean, again, the DC, they're still a goalie, so it's not like it was a freebie, but it definitely helped NAU get the overtime winner there. We'll see how game 2 shakes out, though. 20 seconds in, and Northern Arizona almost let game 1 slip away.
And now looking to control this one better. Chronicle takes it up high, bumped off the double again. No one close as second for Northern Arizona. Nass will go right by this one. Beast taking a lot of time, snapping it right side to Carr. Will just end up rolling this forward into the corner. Dan, no boost to work with. Chronicle 50s his way through. Dan, his ping looking obviously a lot better, sitting in the green. Now Nass will take this off the back wall. Not a lot of boost to work with. Runs out here at the midfield line. Chronicle right back on target, looking for a late touch. It's saved by Goat God.
First 60 seconds off the clock. Now Nass trying to start the Monarch transition into an opportunity to score here, Jonas. But Now NAU's got 5 minutes under their belt in this series. They've gotten to see firsthand that ODU is going to attack the start. And now in game 2, how do you adjust if you're NAU?
I mean, I think they've realized that ultimately just locking things down on defense is it's going to be a little bit harder than they may have anticipated. And as long as they're able to stay clean on that front, I think they're going to be able to do just fine, as well as, keeping that offense a good opportunity. Saw a little bit of a miss there from Chronicle. They almost ended up selling that game because of that miss off the corner read. But here's a very swift and pretty transition from the Lumberjacks. Chronicle out to Beast. They're up 1.
Beautiful downfield transition. Finds Beast upfield. 3.5 to go. It's a 1-0 Lumberjack lead.
And they're going to be looking to continue moving forward. Old Dominion there obviously shown that they can fight back late in these games. We'll see if they can maybe do it again, as Beast again retreating. I'm a little bit intrigued to see the second man staying very far back for Northern Arizona at times. We saw Beast may have had a look, and both him and Carr were kind of turning away at the midfield as Chronicle was sending it off the backboard.
3 minutes to go as Northern Arizona looks to get this ball back within their control here. In the series, 1-0 for NAU, but again, Old Dominion know that last season they had that deep run. They again played from behind multiple times and fought back, so they're not in any unfamiliar territory here.
Yeah, absolutely not. They gotta have that confidence in themselves, and I'm sure they do. And Northern Arizona, they're looking to get back into it, and we have a Rule 1. Go-God and Carr are locked. Wait, they break it.
Back to 3-on-3. Carr asking what happened with the OK. Is not quite sure he wanted that Rule 1 to break, but now we're back to 3-on-3.
I mean, it's one of those things where, you can have your differing opinion. Rule 1, it's that unwritten rule, but also, some people just say, this is competitive. You're ultimately playing for money. You want to win, but that's whoever's opinion that is your opinion. But yeah, I would assume that it was broken by Goat God, as we did see the first reaction from Carr, but could be psychological tactics. You never know.
And he puts it in.
And yeah, that might be that broken Rule 1 karma. We'll see if he says anything about it, but that is a beautiful double drop down by Carr, and that might just be swift justice.
That was put in by Carr, who had the Rule 1 get broken with him, and he answered with the goal of his own, and Northern Arizona doubled the lead to 2.
Great clear back from Goat God. It'll fall to Beast, who rips it upfield. Chronicle is there. Dan will catch a piece of it, sends it over to the corner. Beast towards the back wall. Carr was there. We saw a little bit of hesitation out of the Monarchs defense. Now Chronicle might be looking to send this middle. He does. Beast there a little late, still able to win a 50 forward into the corner, trying to get another one. He will. Chronicle now lurking. Shot on. Dan is demoed, and no one can hold it.
3-0, a minute 20 to go. As Northern Arizona continue to triple their lead at Dronis, this is looking all but good things for Northern Arizona.
Yeah, ultimately, obviously 3-0 is a great score line, but the other big thing is the shot count. Nation, we're seeing NAU at 10, Old Dominion at 1.
Yeah, it's just a complete difference in terms of offensive efficiency as well. You're just getting one shot out of the Monarch offense. And last game, they got, again, a little bit of a lucky strike at the end with the kickoff goal to go their way to tie things up. And then the unlucky part in overtime, Chronicle going to almost put a fourth in. Rebound is good for goal 4.
Yeah, Carr going to get credit for it. I mean, Chronicle has done a great job facilitating this offense. He, of course, got his one, but he's assisted the 3 others, both to Carr and Beast. He's done a great job setting things up. He's also got the one save that NAU need.
59 seconds. And the Lumberjacks are averaging 4 goals a game. Dronis, 8 goals in 9 minutes. Great stuff out of the Lumberjacks.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, we're seeing them stay efficient. Obviously, we saw the late comeback attempt from Old Dominion cut short in OT, but I mean, this one doesn't look like it's going to have that same story. This is just the Lumberjacks, frankly cutting down Old Dominion.
Absolutely, and God trying to fire from the corner. It is quickly broken up and sent back the other way. They're almost at the goal 5 there for NAU. Beast now trying to turn this one in, and will.
And what a sequence this was. We're going to have to watch it again. So the first shot deflected by Nas, then he ended up doubling it. Chronicle landed, slipped it past Dan. Beast took a half beat, was able to work behind Go God, and then dunking Nas on the goal line. And what a sequence that was to make it 5-0.
25 seconds left. 5-0. Favoring NAU. In these first 10 minutes, it's been all Northern Arizona. It's just karma for breaking the rule 1. It was 1-0 when that happened.
It might just be, again, we are assuming, we don't have the crisp cold evidence that it was Goat God, but if it was, this might just be, I mean, unwritten rules are unwritten rules for a reason. And obviously, you know, I already mentioned you can have your differing opinions about it being a competitive environment and you wanting to have the best advantage, but people are going to think differently.
Somebody in chat should go rewind the stream and let us know what happened.
Spade, go do it.
I'm going to save this replay. Never mind, I couldn't get it in time.
Oh, either way, game number 3 set to go. Northern Arizona looking to extend to a very early match point, and Old Dominion, they let it get to 3-0, they're going to be in trouble.
There is the you know, the in-game replay saving thing now, so we can go back and look and see what happened later. But you know, now into action here, Jonas. Game 3, things can turn really bad for Old Dominion if Northern Arizona come out with a win here.
And absolutely, and I don't know how that one wasn't turned in. Obviously, it was a great initial save, but I don't understand how no one was crashing soon enough for the Monarchs, and somehow NAU escaped without conceding that first one. Now Beast trying to stay on the offensive end. Go God sends it up for Nas off the sidewall, and Chronicle to Beast, the give and go. No, he's just gonna rip it downfield into the corner. Dan having some good control. Almost another rule 1 there, but it was just didn't quite lock in time.
Carr trying to put that one off, a one-timer, no good though. And this first minute, and NAU just feel like it's a continuation of game 2. Their offense is right back punching down Old Dominion's defense.
Yeah, it does indeed. I mean, it's just the full, complete control from NAU in this one. And I mean, we've still shown that Old Dominion can fight. We've still seen some good looks from them, but ultimately it has not been consistent enough. And you can see the confidence maybe a bit shaken compared to the Lumberjacks, who feel more confident than ever.
3:38 to play here in game 3, and Old Dominion, this is a must-win game, Trent. If they lose this is probably more than likely over, but we've seen reverses happen before. We'll have to see if they can do it.
Yeah, we will, but this is going to be a tough spot here. Carr fires, misses high. Chronicle will be the first one to turn with no boost. Dan wins it forward towards the corner. Beast, plenty of boost to work with. Trying to get over Goat God, can't reach it again. Could be a good look developing. NASA up high. Chronicle snaps another big clear out. Beast is lurking. Sidewall double will its way into the corner. 2 minutes gone. Still this one staying close. Old Dominion out shooting NAU by 1, but still have yet to break through.
3 minutes to go here in game 3 in Old Dominion. One more look there for Dan. He's sent away by Chronicle. And this series on paper should be much closer than what we've seen so far. But Northern Arizona have come out to play tonight. Their defense has been lights out for the most part. Again, they had that late crumple in game 1, but they really had it put back together last game. In game 2, shut out the Monarchs. And now in game 3, you're halfway through with 0 goals allowed.
I mean, this could still turn around. It really could. But I mean, you know, I in my bracket, I had this going to game 6 because I did think it was going to be close. I had NAU as the favorites to win because yeah, they are the favorites to win. And I did think Old Dominion was going to keep it very close, but NAU just seem lethal. Beast snipes it from the midfield, catches the Monarchs out.
I think I had NAU 6 or 7. I don't remember.
Okay, so basically the same. Basically the same.
I'm gonna go look now while we're yapping.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately that's, I feel like the second or third time we've seen Dan get caught out as third. Just that slight overextension through the midfield, going for a ball that he maybe shouldn't, getting into a position that he maybe shouldn't be. And Sleeper says you had him in 7.
Yep. See that right here.
Sleeper's already on it.
Sleeper's already on my case. Let him go.
That's a good chance. Chronicle picks up the save, but less than 2 minutes to go. NAU still sitting confidently out in front, but Old Dominion, they're just looking for that one chance to tie it up.
100 seconds to go in game 3. Old Dominion need a late third here to get this game back to level, and if not, into overtime, and find a way to win in overtime and get this series back within 1. It's Dan up high, broken up by Chronicle, and Northern Arizona might be one step too high to deal with for Old Dominion tonight.
Yeah, very well might be. I mean, there's still obviously plenty of chances for the Monarchs to get back in. A Chronicle misflip there. Dan hunting it down. Nass is there lurking as well, but blocked by Chronicle. That'll send the Monarchs right back into their own side. Dan one touch out, but has no boost. You can see him chasing with no boost left, and it will just be ripped back into the offensive side from Carr. Nass, that's a dangerous touch. Beast is lurking, tried the slow play. Goat God will rip it back up to Nass, but he didn't want to flip into it, and it relates in it being off target.
49 seconds, and NAU again escape a goal there from conceding, and Old Dominion's offense just hasn't been the same since game 1. As something has affected this team, it just feels like it's a complete shift here since game 2.
No, yeah, we are seeing NAU doing a great job ultimately shutting down this Old Dominion offense. Here's another good look, but Goat God just a little bit too slow to it. Dan rips it middle, but there's no one left to try and boom that forward, so it'll be Chronicle out. A team bump there allows Carr to get back, and again, this offense is not as efficient as it needs to be. They've got 10 shots in the nation. They're 0 for 10. They're looking for a last chance here. Goat God misses wide, and that had to be it.
Trying to fall through there. Now Northern Arizona trying to put this game away. Beats a double. Couldn't put it through. Corrigan let this one drop. Will play it slow as a flip reset to use. Goat God will let this one fall. No, it's still alive. Beast putting it back to midfield. That one will drop. And NAU a game away from the round of 32.
And this is a really strong looking Northern Arizona. Old Dominion, unfortunately, again, just not as efficient. They need to be. Went 0 for 11. But look at the saves from Chronicle. He put up 6.
And it's defensive masterclass from Northern Arizona. It's 0 goals in the last 10 minutes, Jonas.
Yeah, that is absolutely insane. Old Dominion now just, obviously you're down by 3. You need to reverse sweep a team like Northern Arizona. That's not easy, but at least getting a goal now for Pride is a huge part of it.
It's also getting a goal to establish some momentum again, some positive morale boosting for the SODU team that hasn't seen a goal since game 1.
Yeah, and that's the other big thing. I mean, if you want to win, you need to score. And it all starts with one. We've talked about it multiple times when teams kind of go in those droughts. You get one, and that can really open the floodgates to putting away 2, 3, 4, as many as you need to be able to win. But you got to get that first one.
First one's the important one. And now, in the reverse sweeps, typically when we see reverse happen, game 4 is a dominant game, and it opens things up. We have a double fake kickoff in game 4. And that's just an NAU goal. Oh, no. Oh, God.
The reverse sweep's not happening. It's not. The double fake completely split. Beast just punts it over. Goat God, he missed. He had boost left in the tank. He could have been able to make the save, but he was just too late. And 2 seconds gone in Northern Arizona. What a start.
And it's just the kickoff depth. They got their kickoff goal traded back from game 1.
Yeah, they did indeed, and they are going to be happy to that one. Nass, a good shot look here, but not enough power. Chronicle will make the quick save away. Challenge well by Goat God. Nass with a demo at the midfield. Chronicle find that touch away. Dan, quick turn. 50'd well by Carr. And again, this defense from the Lumberjacks is still looking extremely solid. And Old Dominion, they're going to need to really try something new to be able to break through.
4:27 to go. Beast one-on-one in isolation, taken away by Nats, so from behind, leaving the Monarchs now back the other way, as Northern Arizona's defense has been impossible to break for the last 11 minutes.
Yeah, they might have another look here. Nash should have the stop. Ends up putting it high. Beast is there. So is Chronicle. And I believe multiple committed there for Old Dominion. Nash found the save. No double from Beast. Goat God low boost will boom it outside. And Chronicle right back into the offensive side. Northern Arizona, they know all they need to do now is let their defense work, keep the pressure up. Obviously, you want to find some sort of cushion, and they might need another, but somehow Chronicle front flips that one, gets it off his back bumper to make the save.
3:40 to go here. Beast and Nap playing with Carlos in midfield, and You know, NAU also one of those teams that qualified for CECC Texas, and I'm going to get to meet them in person in a couple of weeks in Arlington. And it's going to be fun to see these guys. They won the Big Sky championship bracket in their conference qualifier, and we'll play here in Arlington, Texas. But, you know, the tournament, they want to go far. I've gotten to talk to Chronicle and Carl a lot this season. They have high hopes as to how far they can go.
I mean, and it's just showing everyone that they could go even further. I mean, again, as you mentioned, a lot of people, you know, have them winning this first round matchup. Then there's quite a people who are predicting that upset as well versus Purdue. And, you know, I don't know if a lot of people have them getting through James Madison, who's likely to be on, you know, the other side in the regional semifinal. But that being said, I mean, there's a lot of confidence in this team and what they can do, and they're really establishing even more confidence by potentially sweeping Old Dominion here tonight.
Absolutely, and that's their first goal since game one. Dan finally breaks the drought.
Yeah, this was a great shot from Dan Beast. That slight little miss, and immediately Dan all over it. His car just had no boost in net. Didn't think he'd be able to get there, and honestly, there wasn't much he could do regardless.
Yeah, not much you can do regardless in that situation. But now Northern Arizona going to face Equilibrium for the first time since game one as well. We'll see how they respond to their first goal out in the first couple minutes of this game.
I mean, would expect them to try and answer back quite quickly. We did see them again focusing a little bit more on that defensive side. Might see the offense step up again here as Carr will just run it down the field and has an open center. Is there anyone close? Says Second Beast. Had to await the 2 to go from ODU. Now trying to find his way through with an air drill. A little bit awkward there. Chronicle goes right by. Carlos has to respect Dan. And now this one will be played over his head. Can Dan reach a shot? Tries to pinch it middle. Nass is there, but Beast there to answer.
150 to play. Chronicle, the midfield, will have Beast towards his left as Carlos now left alone in the backfield over Goat God. But back on top of it is Dan. NAU's defense will hold the line again. And 100 seconds to go. The Lumberjacks trying to put the series away.
And this one, will it fall through? It will. Chronicle punishing. This all stemmed back to Nass. Dove in as third. You can see Dan had no boost to get back, and Goat got still on the far side of the field. That was a massive overextension from the Monarchs offensively. Really opened up that counter, and the Lumberjacks did enough to put it away.
That they did. A minute 30 to go. B's going to launch this one forward on target. Nass will stop it. A rebound is good. The lead out to 2.
Yeah, and that's 2 big mistakes there. I mean, Goat God getting bumped, but, you know, Nash just this touch, tried to control it, ended up giving it right to Chronicle, and he's able to slot that one down low. So Old Dominion give up 2 back-to-back after keeping this one so close, and now it might be out of reach. There's still 90 seconds for 2, entirely doable, but they're really going to need to sharpen up here, Nation.
Minute 20 to go as Goat God and Dan back across the blue territory here. Minute 18 remaining. Jonas, so what's the percentage chance Old Dominion are still in this?
I mean, I'm thinking it's about a 10%. I mean, they're running out of chance, and this might make it even further. Beast, the flick, great control down low, adds on another.
106, the lead out to 3, and Old Dominion's run last season to the regional semifinal looking like it's going to be in jeopardy here this spring.
Yeah, I mean, I think Old Dominion, I think they might just be out of it now. Again, the split on the fake kickoff. Does this one fall through as well? No, Goat God not going to let it happen twice. But now the midfield pass to Beast lobbed up, and you can just see the Lumberjacks playing keep away with Old Dominion here. They know they have 50 seconds to hold 3. Might give up 1 here. Goat God is there. This one will roll through. Old Dominion still a chance.
49 seconds is enough time for 2, but this next one has to come in 10, 15 seconds.
I mean, a kickoff goal would be massive for Old Dominion. Obviously, we saw it, you know, in the first game, but it would be huge to do it again. This is the look. It's good. Another kickoff goal. They bring themselves within 1.
46 seconds, and then you starting to let it slip.
Oh my goodness. If they do it again, it would be absolutely insane. They have time. 46 seconds is much more time, and they can find themselves one. Northern Arizona looking to lock it right back down. Nothing off the kickoff to show. This is going to be a good chance for NAU. Low 50 from Beast, just looking to keep the pressure on the Monarch side.
35 seconds to go. The Monarchs gonna have one more effort to get this game back to level. Drone is under 30 to go, and they gotta find a way to get their offense in blue territory soon.
Yeah, you need to get back on that side. Here's a good pass over to Dan. The chip is high. He wants the double Chronicle there first. Nas needs to get control of this ball. Beast hunting him down. Nas gets past 2 with the 50. Beast demoing down on the far side. Nas to Goat God. Snapshot saved by Chronicle. That might be it. Carr is running away with it downfield. Shoots out middle. Beast is there. Goat God booming it downfield. Chronicle just looking to kill it here and move on. Northern Arizona. No, it's kept alive for one more look.
But reset for Carr. One more chance. That clear is going to do it. Northern Arizona going to sweep the Monarchs and move on.
And what a look for NAU. You got to give respect to Old Dominion for keeping it close. And we're... well, we'll just let that be up there in the top left. But Northern Arizona, a 4-0 sweep over Old Dominion. That's a massive win for the Lumberjacks.
That it is. They'll move on to play either number 3 Purdue or number 14, barring a upset, North Florida. As we'll see you guys after the break for our final game of the night at midnight Eastern kickoff. Number 5 Maryland versus number 12 North Carolina.